Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the July 12th, 2022 meeting of the Laughlin Town Advisory Board here at the Laughlin Regional Government Center, 101 Civic Way in Laughlin, Nevada. To read into the minutes, some housekeeping items. Items on the agenda may be taken out of order. The board may combine two or more agenda items for consideration. The board may remove an item from the agenda or delay discussion relating to an item at any time. No action may be taken on any matter not listed on today's posted agenda. All planning and zoning matters at this meeting are forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners Zoning Commission, otherwise known as the BCC, or the Clark County Planning Commission, known as the PC, for final action. Please take a moment to turn off or mute all cell phones and electronic devices. And within a 48-hour advance request, a sign language interpreter or other reasonable efforts to assist and accommodate persons with physical disabilities may be made available by calling 702-455-3530, TDD at 702-385-7486, or Relay Nevada toll-free at 800-326-6868. Supporting material provided to the board members for this meeting may be requested from Tammy Harris at 702-298-0828, and supporting material is or will also be available at the Clark County Department of Administrative Services, 500 South Grand Central Parkway, 6th floor, Las Vegas, Nevada, and will be available at the Clark County website at clarkcountynv.gov/Laughlin TAB. Your board, before you all go ahead and take a little out of order, but a roll call. We have Pamela Walker. Present. Herm Walker, no relation.
Herm.
Here. Fred Doughton is absent today. Kathleen Haas, Vice Chair.
Here.
And myself, Kathy Oakes, here. Our secretary is Tammy Harris, and she can be reached at 702-298-0828, and her email is Tammy, Tammy, .harris, HARRIS, at clarkcountynv.gov. Our county liaison with us today is Mark Moskowitz, and he can be reached at 702-298-0828, and also 702-455-6173. His email address is mark, Moskowitz, MOSKOWITZ, at clarkcountynv.gov. This has been our call to order. If I can please have you stand for our invocation given by Father Charlie, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Pamela Walker.
On average, Laughlin has about 325 sunny days a year. That's one of the reasons why visitors come here. That's one of the reasons why residents enjoy being here. But that leaves only about 40 days a year when it could possibly be cloudy, and even less when it could possibly rain. So we gathered today on a very warm and one of the 325 sunny days in Laughlin, and we asked God, our Creator, to grant us the blessing of rain sometime this summer. May His mercy and His power descend upon us as that gentle rain that the Scriptures describe. And may it not only be rain figuratively, but may it be rain really. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll move forward now to item number 2, which is the public comment section of this meeting. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public about items that are on today's agenda. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on this agenda item at this time. You'll be afforded the opportunity to speak on individual public hearing items at the time they are presented. If you wish to speak to the board about items within its jurisdiction but not appearing on today's agenda, you must wait until the comments by the general public, period, listed at the end of today's agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to our speaker's podium, state your name and address, and please spell your name for the record, as our meetings are recorded and it's much easier for our secretary to spell your name correctly if she has the spelling. If the board wishes to extend the length of a presentation, this will be done by the chair or the board by majority vote. So item number 3, or I'm sorry, is there anyone that would care to speak to any items that are on today's agenda? Any of the public care to speak? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move forward to item number 3, which is approval of the minutes of June 14th of 2022, and I'll also combine with item number 4, approval of the agenda, today's agenda for July 12th, 2022, to hold, combine, or delete any items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving forward, item number 5, informational items. We'll begin today with receiving a report and updates from South County Liaison Mark Moskowitz.
Perfect. Thank you, Chair. I wanted to thank everyone in the community who participated in all the events we had last Wednesday with Commissioner Knapp. I see a lot of familiar faces. We had such a wonderful time at the Colorado River Food Bank. Please don't make that a one-time volunteer. It was so wonderful to volunteer with the community. They do a great job there. They're in dire need of volunteers. So anytime you can go in there, contact our office or their office, and they can set up something. I want to thank everyone who attended the press conference. We had that focused on water safety. We had a good turnout. We had a good dialogue, and a lot of positive news came out of it, and there's a lot of focus on the river, as everyone knows. I want to thank everyone who joined us at the Meet at the Market. We had great dialogue as well with residents and people just moved here. A lot of good information was had. It's wonderful to see that market and see how it's doing. We also want to thank Alon and her team for letting us stop at Spirit Mountain Activity Center. Commissioner called a few bingo numbers. That was a lot of fun. It's good to see the people in there playing bingo and all that. And then anyone who came to the Searchlight events as well, I want to thank you. So as we always say, the commissioner, his plan is always to come out quarterly. But as everyone knows, myself, I'm here as well as Tammy and John in our office. So please don't wait until those times to bring up any issues or questions. You can bring this into it now, and we'll find out answers and help that way. So we always want to let people know, let us know if you want to be on our email list and stuff like that. So those are all my updates.
All right, thank you. Okay. And item number 2 is receive a report from Bullhead City Pest Abatement and Clark County Vector Control. And this is for discussion only. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
So my name is Dr. Michael Cavallaro. I'm the Bullhead City Pest Abatement Manager and Municipal Entomologist. I'm with Chris Bramley today, who's the Clark County Vector Control Supervisor. Cumulatively, we're going to just talk about some of the aquatic insect suppression programs that we have going on along the river. For today, I wanted to just highlight some of the caddisfly abatement strategies that we're implementing. In my capacity, I collaborate with Chris on the blackfly abatement program. I also collaborate with Mojave County on the nuisance and vector mosquito control program. And then myself, I run the nuisance net spinning caddisfly research program and other abatement activities. So today I want to specifically talk about the caddisfly low flows that are going to be coming up starting next week. So next Tuesday, we're going to have a release of around 1,300 CFS. This is very, very low. So in previous low flow events, they've been nearly about 2,000 CFS, so we're going to be even lower than previous ones. So and the purpose of this specific strategy, which has been really successful since we started it back in 2020, is basically trying to remove some of the habitat and real estate that caddisflies use to colonize and be successful. Our little section of river downstream of the Davis Dam is basically the Goldilocks zone for this specific native caddisfly species, with a buffet of food and really good habitat and no real vegetation buffers between human interaction and the river itself. So our buildings, our homes, the lights, everything, they tend to gravitate and cause quite an issue for our community. But over the last couple years, we've been really successful in removing and desiccating a lot of larvae and pupa in certain areas where they've been able to really thrive before. So this includes roughly about 10 to 12 acres of prime caddisfly habitat, which we've removed during these low flow events. So in some areas where we do our habitat measures, we can see densities of hundreds of caddisflies per square foot. So some of these low flow events and looking at different mortality measures can equate to millions of caddisflies being knocked back in a single swift motion of one day of everybody just kind of bearing with us with the low flows. And a lot of these discussions and these decisions aren't made unilaterally by me and my, I don't turn off the faucet on the Davis Dam or anything like that. But there is a river flow committee that gets together monthly with the BOR to discuss river flows that impact, irrigation, hydroelectricity, recreation, and a couple years ago I put my foot in the door for pest abatement purposes. So it's been a great collaboration thus far. We'll have 2 low flow dates coming up over the next 2 months. Next week on Tuesday, again, it'll be from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then we'll have another low flow event on August 16th, again, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And these are going to be quite low, so if you're out on the river, do be careful. We do encourage people to be out on the river. Because I've never been this low before for caddisfly abatement purposes, we're going to have a lot of biologists and volunteers and different staff members out, just making sure that there are no trapped fish and other things that may be detrimental to the river and everything like that. So we want to make sure that this is a targeted treatment just for caddisfly abatement purposes. And in addition to the mortality measurements that we'll be taking and looking at the efficacy of the treatment, what's been really great about this kind of multi-pronged approach is that we get to have some synergy with cleaning up the river, involving people in the community to take care of our river. I know that Bullhead City Parks and Recreation specifically will be doing a big cleanup next Tuesday. But if you're on the river, kayaking and doing whatever, you see some trash, pick it up. We don't get these low flows during the day that often. So, in addition to some of the information that we'll be providing, I'll have a PowerPoint that I can distribute to anybody listening or anybody here today that wants a little bit more information on some of our data collection thus far. And then this Thursday at the Bullhead City Council Chambers from 4 to 5, I'll be delivering a caddisfly low flow forum. So I'll be able to dive a little bit deeper into some of the habitat metrics we've taken, some of the different data collection efforts that we've had, the successes, and the future optimization of the program. So with that, I will let Chris take over with some of the black fly work that we're doing as well.
Good afternoon, Chair and Board. Chris Bramley, Vector Control Supervisor from the Department of Public Works. Some brief history on this program. It started in 1986, the actual survey. The program research data started in 76, so it took about 10 years to figure out what we were going to do, how we were going to control black flies, and what product we were going to use. We had a great team that did that, and as you know now, we have a great suppression program. Black flies are hardly seen. It's caddisflies that are the issue. Some program notes. We've completely upgraded the program from the last 12 months. We've incorporated GoPro videos so that we have videos of all survey work and all BTI applications. BTI is the product that we use for suppression of the black flies. We've upgraded all of our pumps that load all of our tanks, so we do that much faster, so we've kind of shortened the time frame that it takes to treat the river. As in previous days, it used to take a couple of days, but we've kind of just eclipsed all that. We get it all done by about 1 o'clock on Tuesday for survey and about 1:30 on Wednesdays for applications. We just had a Nevada State inspection of the program this last treatment cycle in June. I'm waiting for the report, but the staff from the state said we passed and they liked everything. So when that comes, Mark, I'll send you a copy so that you can share it with the board. We've also done upgrades to the release process on the pontoon boat that we use. We now have 3 segments that we're able to release BTI on, so that way we're able to treat from one shoreline to the other, or if we need to treat docks, which have become a high area for larval counts. The debris that gets caught up, the plastic, the blackfly larvae love it. So now we're able to treat all of the casino docks on one side and then any docks on the bullhead side that we have found to be a problem, which Rotary, Don Sullivan, in and around the Big Bend area. So we've done much better at making applications. We target the sites now, whereas before we kind of just treated from one side to the other, and now we target everything. So we also renewed our NPDES permit for the fiscal 23, which is the state permit that we have to pull to do the project. And then we've also added the new bridge section as a last treatment on the river because of the way that's being designed. It's created extra larval substrate, so we're getting a lot of larvae that are hanging on all of that. So we treat that about 200 yards up above to knock that out, and then of course that application will probably go all the way to the AV. I'm going to be retiring this year after 30-some years with this program. It's been a pleasure working on it. I've learned a lot, worked with a lot of people in Laughlin and Bullhead. This blackfly program has been a great success for many years. And other than that, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. But if not, I will let Mark know what my retirement date when it gets in place. But it's time to go and hang out with my grandkids, and I'm going to miss Laughlin. Tammy's been a wonderful person to work with since she started. The board's been great on the times I've been before you. And working with Michael has been great since he's been here. Working with the Laughlin Chamber has been great. Bullhead City Chamber, Bullhead City. The Bullhead City Pest Abatement District Board is a wonderful group of people. They've never said no to pretty much anything I want. And then my director, Dennis Cedarberg, has been an awesome supporter of the program. So if you have any questions, I'll take those. If not, I'll leave it at that.
Congratulations. Yep.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and thank you for your dedication.
Thank you.
BTI is. If they think it's a poison, I need you to tell them.
Okay, BTI is not a poison, it's a biologic. Basilicus israeliensis thuringiensis is the long title name for it. It's a product that was found back in the deserts in and around Israel. One day they found this bacteria that would only work on black flies, mosquitoes, and midges. Doesn't harm any other aquatic insect in the river, doesn't harm our people when they're recreating in the river, doesn't cause a problem to drinking. It's probably the greatest product that has been developed for blackfly control. It's used all across the country and all across the world. I wish it worked on caddisflies because then we would have them roped in, but unfortunately, caddisflies don't pick it up like blackflies do. So yes, it's not a poison. It's not something that the public needs to worry about, but if the public needs to worry about it and wants to call me or Michael, my cell phone is available 24 hours a day. My emails are out there. I know Michael has created a website, so we've tried to be as public with this program as we can for since 1986. We worked with the fire department in Bullhead City in the beginning when we made applications from the dam. Davis Dam staff are wonderful. We coordinate our applications with them so that we can use the lowest amount of BTI, which saves everybody money. Anything else you want me to add? No.
No, I just wanted, we get calls all the time.
Yeah, no,
It's poison, and it's not.
And you can always send those calls to Michael and I, and we're more than happy to talk to those people. Come down and visit with anybody that lives along the river. I mean, that's never been a problem. And with that, hopefully this will be my last meeting, and everybody take care.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Item 3. He's talking, so. Okay, item number 3 is to receive a report it says from Lieutenant Rogers with Metro Police regarding activity and statistics during the past month and other crime area concerns, but I don't. Are you here to speak for Metro? Okay.
How you doing? I'm Officer Seymour, SEYMORE. So I just got the calls for service for Laughlin for June of 2022 is 316. It's 23% down from last year at this time. Traffic citations in Laughlin were 237. DUIs in Laughlin was 1. We have 6 domestic violence arrests out of Laughlin in the month of June, and a total of 21 bookings out of Laughlin in the month of June of this year. And we have 2 juvenile citations that were issued for June. That's all I have. Anybody got any questions I can answer?
Any questions from the board?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. And receive a report from Sergeant Wayne Dice. I don't see him with Nevada State Police. Okay. Receive a report from Clark County Fire Department regarding calls for service. Ah, there you are. Hi.
Good afternoon. My name is Damon Remley, DAMON, I'm a captain at Station 85. June of 2022, well, similar to Metro, we had 298 calls total. Station 85 ran 116 calls, and Station 76 ran 182. There were no significant fires to speak of or incidents here in Laughlin. The only other news I have to report really is that we were supposed to receive 2 rescue watercraft, personal watercraft like Sea-Doos. We were supposed to have those in the station by now. It got pushed back, and we're just supply chain issues like everyone else. So there's no hard date when we're supposed to receive those, but it should be by the end of the year. And then the boat for 76 is still slated for late next year to receive that.
Rescue watercraft boat for the one station, and then 2 of the rescue watercraft Sea-Doos?
Yep,
Okay,
at 85.
at 85, okay.
And that's all I have for you guys, unless you guys have questions.
All right. Any questions from the board? No? No? Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Receive a report from Will Smith with Clark County Water Reclamation. I don't see him here today, but he did leave his report on the back desk there, if anyone would like that. And then receive a report from Jason Bailey, Big Bend Water District, regarding the status of the water system. Again, he's not with us today. However, I do believe that he left a report. Am I correct? Yes, okay. On the back. And then receive a report from Alon Bilbray with Parks and Recreation regarding the status of programs and upcoming events. Hi.
Our statistics for June were 17 programs, 426 participants. I know I put this on the last report, but we're still looking for instructors. If you know anyone who is interested in teaching art, dance, craft classes, please call us at the Spirit Mountain Activity Center. We're also looking for a recreation assistant for Searchlight and Calnavari. Normally with my updates, I tell you guys about any events that we have, but I thought maybe I would share some stuff that we do at the Senior Center, just for the people that don't know. We do senior field trips. Upcoming, we have some trips to Bellagio, the Grand Canal Shops, the Natural History Museum, Pinball Museum. These field trips change every session. If you want any information on the field trips, you can call us at the Spirit Mountain Activity Center. We also have senior exercise classes Mondays and Wednesdays from 8:30 to 9:30, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And that's it.
Any questions from the board? Okay. Alon,
Yes.
I appreciate you giving us the stuff on the seniors, because that, our population, there's a lot of people that'd be good information for
Yeah,
them as
and
well.
if you guys want, I can bring our brochure every month that I
Okay.
do for the Senior Center.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely, because that's, like I said, the majority of our constituents are seniors.
Yes.
So, okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Receive a report from Jackie Wallen with Laughlin Chamber of Commerce regarding current and upcoming business activities in Laughlin. And then also, Jackie's going to present for the Laughlin Tourism Commission.
Thank you, Ms. Chair, Board. First, I want to kind of piggyback on the pest abatement team. That water flow committee was developed by the Laughlin Chamber of Commerce as a standing committee, and it's been there for 3 years. It includes every stakeholder that has anything to do with water flow. It could be recreation, it could be small business, large business, real estate, as you can see, pest abatement, the resorts, events, both on the Arizona side and our side, and we do consider everything in Lake Havasu, because Lake Havasu is the reservoir that holds the water before it gets to irrigation. Hydroelectricity, of course, has been a big topic over the last couple of years, because during the day, it's hard to release hydroelectricity waters through the dam when solar panels are taking over during the day. So release and not make hydroelectricity is impossible, and there's no way to store it. So hitting the grid at the same time is kind of a challenging issue for us to have water and not hit the grid with hydroelectricity. It's an ongoing issue, but with BOR, Bureau of Department of Interior, and all of those stakeholders meeting every month, we get to stay abreast on what everybody needs and what's working and what's not working. And that's how these low flows come up, and how everybody gets involved in saying, we can stop our tour boats on that day. We cannot rent jet skis on that day so that you can take care of the science. It's really a give and take kind of committee, and I love the collaboration that we have. And anybody ever wants to attend, they can. It's public. You can come and play with us anytime you want. So ribbon cuttings, the next one is going to be on the 15th at the Laughlin Chamber. She does not have a storefront, so she's going to have her ribbon cutting at our place at 8:30. Mixers, we've been having mixer requests, but not during the summer, because they want to have indoor-outdoor mixers. We did have one at News West Publishing, and it worked out great because their whole building was really good for all of us to attend. The network and educating events that we have on Friday mornings, the last Friday of every month, has been really, really fun. The last one we had was with Trevor and Bria Chiodini about the new, what are they calling it? The new grand celebration that's supposed to be coming. It was supposed to be here in June, but because of some last minute materials that needed to come in, and the traffic or the construction on 95, coming from St. George prevents them from taking anything down that highway over 12 feet, so they're working with the construction team also. The WACE board training, WACE board training for our board was in Lake Havasu, very successful. A lot of our board members attended, and it was 4 hours of great, intense training, and anybody that wants the deck for that training and wants to understand where the new chambers are going and the philosophy behind things and how we've become more relevant in communities, I'll be sure to share that deck with you. We have our next breakfast on July 29th, and it is from Ina Platas and Mike Williams from TWN Communication, talking about the fiber optics that are going all the way through Bullhead City and then eventually into Mojave Valley. The Laughlin Chamber of Commerce events, Chef's Food Fest, has been postponed. It's been postponed. We cannot do anything about it. It's not because of COVID, it's because of a lack of staff, especially in the culinary departments. So, and of course, catering departments. It's been making it really hard. We are striving to do a tri-state mega mixer in September, where we invite any chamber within 300 miles of Laughlin, and they get to come and stay on a Friday and Saturday and get to talk to each other, and we get to network and talk about the programs that we have for our membership. The Community Achievement Awards is scheduled for October. We do not know if we'll be able to have it inside of a ballroom and go back to our gala, or if we'll have to have it via live streaming again until we know what the status of staff is in the resorts. Our membership now stands at 306. Laughlin percentage is 32%. This quarter just started, so we have no new members and no new members in Laughlin for this quarter. The Volunteers in Partnership have a lot of opportunities coming up, and that would be for, of course, full-time as an airport ambassador with TSA clearance. 24/7, 365 at our airport. It's a volunteer position, but those people really, really like it. We have Kid Rock in October, the 40th U.S. Open Tournament in October, Best in the Desert, Snore, Best in the Desert again, and then Laughlin Bullhead Air Show. Those are all things that they can volunteer for. Pick and choose what you want. You don't have to volunteer for everything. You just have to have 15 hours in a year between meetings and volunteer hours so that you can get your present at the end of the year or go on the trip that we go on where everybody helps us raise money for that. The COVID resources, of course, we still have the Laughlin Community Health Center that's providing walk-in use for testing and for treatment at their facility. And then I just handed you all one of these. This is a $44 value. Our chamber and volunteers have been putting these together along with the CDC Foundation, the Metropolitan Police Department, Laughlin Rotary, Silver Rider, Riverside, Laughlin Outlet Mall, Renaissance Realty, and American Legion. We are handing these out to anybody that wants one. Inside is 4 in-home test kits, 2 KN95 masks, 6 cloth white cotton masks, a set of gloves in every size, and a bottle of sanitizer. It is a $44 value, and we're giving them away for free. We've got, the hardest part was getting all the stuff here. There was 17 pallets. But anybody, there's some back there in a wagon, and you can take them with you, or you can come to our offices at the mall or at the chamber and take a bunch with you and give them to your congregation, or take them to the parties you're going to and hand them out. The numbers for the new variant are going up, and we need to make sure we're all protected. The Laughlin directional signs. Whoopee! Wow, it's only took us a year, and that was, they promised June. Clark County helped us push, and we have up to 12 signs between Boulder, Vegas, and all the way down through Searchlight and Calnavari, and it says exactly how far Laughlin is, where the junction is coming up, and we exist on Nevada 95. So thanks to everybody that participated. Woo! I just came back from there today, and I was looking at every single one. I said, "Don't look! I gotta drive." Yes, it's amazing. I actually went the back way, like you used to go to Boulder, just to see if there was one over there, and there was. I was being sneaky, but it was really nice to see those say Junction 163 to Laughlin. I get kind of excited when I see those. The next project I'm working on with NDOT and ADOT and Bullhead City, they're drawing up plans right now to put a sidewalk on the north side of the Laughlin Bridge, once we name it the Laughlin Bridge, so that the Heritage Park Trail on the Nevada side and the Arizona side, they connect at the dam, but they don't connect over here without having to cross traffic. And it's dangerous at both bridge side, ends of the bridge. So we're hoping that we can have a sidewalk put on the north side to make that continuous without anybody having to stop. That's one of my dreams. And then, of course, changing Highway 163 to the Colorado River Highway. It'll still be 163, but it will have its name, saying that if you're going down here, you're going to hit the Colorado River anytime. We have additional services. Of course, I want to remind everybody that notary services, no matter how much you have in documents for any member, is free. Other people just pay a small fee. We're still doing lots of fish and small game licenses out of our office. It's kind of exciting because I know that people are coming here to fish, and with the U.S. Open coming up, it's kind of cool. So that's the end of Laughlin Chambers report. Yes, sir.
How firm is the designation of Colorado River Highway?
How firm is it being done?
Is that a done deal?
Oh, no. It's my next dream.
Well,
I have to work on one at a time.
the reason I'm bringing that up is that it's always occurred to me to be an anomaly that Needles Highway runs through Laughlin. Mm-hmm. And I think that Laughlin Highway ought to run from 95 to Laughlin.
Without a designation of the Colorado River Highway.
Right.
The only reason we were doing that is because Hildy Angus and I were working on the Arizona side and this side and making 68 and 163 the Colorado River Highway, because they meet and they both end at the Colorado River Highway, or Colorado River. So if you have a suggestion for me, would you please send it to me or text it or something, and I can write it down and we can go through the committee with it. But it's our next goal is to name the highway, designating that something's down here at the end of that 163, if nobody's been here before. Any other questions for Chamber? I'll go on to Laughlin Tourism Commission. The townwide events that are coming up are Kid Rock at this point on October 8th. We did have to cancel Toby Keith because of his issues. We are looking at some other ones to take over that date and hopefully have one during the U.S. Open Bass Tournament, which I'll talk about for a minute. Rockets Over the River was amazing. I have got more emails and more phone calls this year and Facebook messages saying how wonderful it was. We added extra rockets a different size, a larger shell, and Zambelli came up with a new burning effect that when it burns at a certain temperature in each one of these, you can actually get a pink, a yellow, and a lime green. So when we watched the fireworks, we saw colors that we had never seen before, and it was just beautiful. The 40th, not just the first, but the 40th U.S. Open Bass Tournament could not be held at Lake Mead this year because of the docks and the dry bass beds. Remember, where the competition fishing is for smallmouth and largemouth bass, not striper or trout. So they needed to move it, and I kind of ran up there really fast on a white horse and said, "We'll take it." Now we had to find the funding. We were able to match the sponsorship that they needed for this U.S. tournament, and bringing the 40th U.S. Open to Laughlin is a really big deal for us, and I hope that it shows a lot of anglers about not just that little one that we had in March, but that we are a real destination for fishing. Then we have the Best in the Desert, King Shocks, Laughlin Desert, same as every year. Then we have Southern Nevada Off-Road Enthusiasts, then Best in the Desert again for the UTV's Legends Championship, and then April 1st of 2023, 3 years in the making, we now have a final agreement and approval from Bullhead City to transfer the $75,000 that they committed to the Laughlin Bullhead Airport. And between Clark County, LVCVA, LVE, and LTC, we were able to get $75,000 in sponsorship for this side of the river, and that's just $150,000. We expect that the expense between sponsorships, in-kind, and product and service donations will be close to $300,000 show when we're done with this. It's going to be a one-day show for our first time. We have an amazing 30-year consultant that's helping us out of Michigan. He has a very successful, just look at Rockets Over Michigan, you'll see the kind of work that he does. And he's teaching Jeremy Keating, who is the airport director, and I, everything we need to know about air shows, and he'll be with us for the first 3 years. Our goal is to make it 2 days and have more expos about aviation and get more children from the young Eagles involved in aviation. So that is our biggest goal there. Destination marketing it's always on our mind. We did not get the last 2 grants that we applied for, but I'm going after it again because it's coming up in August, and I want marketing money for the air show for sure, and hopefully for the 40th U.S. Open, because that's going to be a big deal, and we want everybody to know. And that's end of my report for LTC.
Any questions from the board? No? Okay. Thank you, Jackie.
Please call for anybody, 702-298-2214. We're going to have close to 7,500 of these. They need to go, whoever needs them.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
great. Thank you. And I'll also get with you after and see about getting you the carts to take them down. Okay. Moving on to item number 11 is to receive a report from Tanya Brown-Worth with the Laughlin Library. She's not with us today. And item number 12 is announcements of upcoming neighborhood meetings and county or community meetings and events. Anyone care to speak on that? Mark? No?
This time.
Okay. Okay. And planning and zoning, we have none. General business, we have no items before us. So we'll move forward to item number 8, which is comments by the general public. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public about matters that are relevant to the board's jurisdiction, but are not listed on today's agenda. We can take no vote on any matter not listed on the posted agenda, and comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium, state your name and address, and again, please spell your last name for the record. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of a presentation, this will be done by the chair or by the board with majority vote. Is there anyone that would care to speak on any items? Please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Okay. And welcome.
Hi, my name is Dawn Ryerson, and my last name is spelled Rierson. I am the co-founder of Wellness Foundation. We are a 501c3. We currently operate one of our mental health programs in Henderson, Nevada, where we do primarily serve the underserved, homeless demographics, individuals who don't have insurance, individuals, basically, for lack of better phrasing, that are not billable to other insurance agencies to get them those types of services. But what we have been working on for the last 2.5, almost 3 years is bringing an early Head Start program here to Laughlin, Nevada. And we've been working in conjunction with Don Estes at William Bennett and Sunrise Children's Foundation, who holds the grant. May I try to move this?
Yeah, that's fine.
You think that's better, or I broke it?
No, I think it's good.
Okay, thank you. Where was I? Sunrise
about
Children's
Don Estes.
Foundation and William Bennett Elementary School, Clark County School District. We've been working with Don Estes to bring 4 classrooms of Early Head Start. Early Head Start is a free, federally funded pre-K program for children 6 months to 3 years of age. How that came about was I'm co-founder. My husband is also co-founder. He co-signs on all my dreams to save communities in the world, so thank him for that. We have been driving to this community for 3 years, just driving to Laughlin, and I felt the need to bring something here. I just knew I needed to bring something here. I'm originally from California, and sometimes I don't always like to say that because I know the stigma with that at times, but I am originally from California. But I say that to say that I've watched this town and I've watched Bullhead develop from a little girl. I know I look quite young right now, but I'm not that I'm not that young. That was just humor, but no. So I've seen the town grow, and what. Basically, I've had an attachment to the town, I guess, so to speak, and this is the first time I've even really spoke about it, or in my memories are flooding me, because Bullhead didn't even really exist, back when we were coming out here. There were a couple things across the river, but it was Laughlin, and everyone knew Don Laughlin, and my grandparents loved to gamble here. And my grandpa had this shirt that my grandma got him that said, I love Bullhead City, and it was a cow. I'll never forget, it was blue and a cow with these big lips, like just red lips ready to give you a kiss. And it was the cutest thing. So that's just nostalgia that brings to me right now standing here. But I say that to say that when we came to William Bennett, and I figured, let me find out, the principal of the town is gonna know what the community needs. So whether it's mental health or whatever, let me go to her. And when I went to her and said, what do you need? And she said, really, we need early childhood. I said, you're kidding me. Because I've been working in the Head Start program in Clark County for like 12 years. And that's my jam, that's my thing. I love children. So you're kidding me, you need early childhood. And she said, if you can bring early childhood here, I will give you 4 classrooms. And I said, well, I can't guarantee I can bring it here, but I can guarantee you I'm gonna try until I know I can't. So we're at the point where we're hiring staff. I think I might have tried to talk to you or someone in your office. I've been busy. I didn't really mean to drop the ball on that, but I just wanted to put a face to what we're trying to do. I know that the demographics in the town, we have, a demographic that are retired, and then we have the demographic of families that are starting here that got jobs at the casinos. And the only other licensed daycare, if I'm not mistaken, is Don's Kids Castle. So we will be it. Right now, we've completed the MOU process with all entities, with the exception that the school board hasn't put us on the agenda yet. So anyone who knows anyone there?
So I think the connection with our liaison will be advantageous to you both about bringing that in the future, and then Jackie as well with our chamber, making, the properties, because the people that have the jobs and have the children that are going to be in that age range will be predominantly through our properties. They're all members of our chamber. So I think between those two individuals are the definite connections for you to make and to bring this to fruition.
For sure.
We met previously. I know we met in Searchlight, and we've emailed a few times. So, yeah, I let her know to come.
He's fun to stalk.
There
that's
you
all
go.
right.
I told her to come here and introduce herself and let the community know what she's doing. I think she's recently moved to Canavari, right? She's in the community, and I think it's very beneficial what she's doing and the resources she's bringing. So.
Hiring at the moment. I'm hiring for staff, so I wanted to put that out there. I do need to get with you. And I just wanted to thank you guys just for letting me to be able to speak that. And just to be able to come into, we're moving from Henderson, and like Mark said, it's just a little bit too hot for me out here at the moment. I'm a little menopausal, and I figured, okay, maybe it's seven, I'll take 7 degrees up the hill. But we love Calnavary. It's given us the opportunity to kind of see what other things we want to do in our life might be like. So we're very appreciative, and anything that we can do. The long-term goal, I think, is to see how this early Head Start comes about, and then early Head Start needs Head Start to go into. So Head Start would be 3 to 5. So we're looking at first doing that 6 months to 3 years of age, and then from 3 to 5 to bring that whole service wrap around where it's just not the state pre-K program for the little ones. So, and any mental health or wellness that we could bring to the community. We've been talking with Cheryl with West Care in Bullhead City. She told me to find a grant. So I reached out to Mark. I don't know, grants are hard to find sometimes, but and see what we can do and bring. So I just thank you and appreciate all that you do to serve your time and your thoughts and your concerns and your just care for the community, because you serve as well on the board. So I get that, and thank you.
All right. Thank you, and thank you for your information and dedication. Thank you. All right. Is there anyone else for the comments by the general public? Pam.
As you know, when we're out in the community, we always have members of the community come up and speak to us quite often. And one of the issues that has been brought to my attention probably at least 15 or 20 times is Needles Highway and Bruce Woodbury. The number of accidents there, or almost accidents, and I see it quite often where someone jackrabbits out of that stop sign, and I've actually seen a few accidents there. Some of the recommendations that I heard, which might possibly work there to alleviate that, is a roundabout. And everyone that's talked to me about it has made the same statement. A roundabout makes sense to have there, and there's enough room for tractor trailers to still get through there quite easily if we did put one in. And they're a lot less expensive than a stoplight. The other issue is on Casino Drive. With the cost of gas today, sitting at the red lights when there's absolutely no traffic, maybe thinking about having those as yellow flashing lights And then the most busiest times of the day have those as actual red lights. And those are actually fairly easily controlled through Public Works to make that happen. So those were the two primary issues that our constituents wanted me to bring up to the board, and that may be something we can put on an agenda and have Public Works come in and discuss.
Yeah, I can.
Mark, or, okay.
Why don't you get those agendized so we've got some official action down here that we can send to the commissioners in Vegas?
And I can, if I may, I can answer both of those today if we'd like. So I know we mentioned last week at the meet at the market, so they're planning to do a roundabout there. The land will work for it. It's about 60% design right now. So they need to get to about 100, and then we'll be able to bid it and do all that. So timeline, I don't know, but that is going to happen because that'll help to alleviate a lot. And what's nice is we have the land kind of around it, so it's not going to be like a tight little roundabout. It's going to be a good roundabout. Roundabouts are much safer. Any intersection, there's 38 ways to be hit by a car. A roundabout, it's very nearly impossible to hit another person. I mean, as a head-on. So, and then with Casino Drive, let me reach out to Public Works. A lot of times they can make sure all the signals are timed correctly. That might be the first way we can fix kind of the issue of waiting when no one's there. Yes, over time, they kind of lose their juice as along with everything. So I can ask them and see when they can maybe put on their schedule, go out there, and just make sure they're all timed correctly with people going the speed limit and all that.
Really, I'm hearing people say, I stop.
Okay.
There's nobody around. They're just running red lights.
There's two factors in any type of traffic signal. Just my father retired from the
Yeah.
city of Fresno with that. So you have pressure pads, which dictate a cycle, and you have timing. And so, like in the city of Fresno, there were certain time frames, extreme drive times, that they were set to pressure pad and timing, and then the rest of it, they were just set to timing or to pressure pad. So there's 3 different ways you can move that, and Public Works would know how we're currently set. Instead of just doing a flashing, if they made it during, high traffic times, you had pressure points and timer, and just shift it that way.
And I'll follow up with Public Works, I know, because they've got the ones that either do the visual looking at it to see if somebody's coming or the pressure points and all that. So, yeah, we can have them analyze it and let me know what's going on there and all that, and then, yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
And,
no, it's
and one thing
wonderful
that
news.
came out of our meeting at the market too, just for the people to be aware of, was across from the library and the dollar store. We studied that in 2005, and with our base population of like 5,300 households, it was not deemed that it warranted, but our population's larger, and I believe it's back under a traffic study to take a look at that again.
That is, yep.
Correct, and that's why it's been resubmitted.
That is correct, yep. And then we're also starting the residential roads. Well, not starting, that'll be bid either this month or next month, and then once that happens, they'll have to get the contractor on all that, and then we'll know closer to timeline and when to start. But they've ranked them all, and then it'll be based on that, but it's I don't have the list with me, but there's several neighborhoods. And
Yeah,
the
well,
ones-
they put it out for us, like, because that would be something we could put to the press, just too, so that they would know, avoid this street because it's gonna be tore up for a little while.
Yes,
Because it's, what, a
yes.
$12 million project?
Yep, so $12 million they're investing. I believe the first package is about $7 million, but once we get it all like finalized, then we'll be able to kind of put it all out there. But it is on the radar, it is going to happen and all that, so, yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
Herm?
This probably isn't sensitive to the general public, but more particularly to Mark. I don't know if this is a technical problem with our equipment or it's just me,
Okay.
but I missed about half this meeting, and the reason I did is that the voice modulation, particularly on your microphone, just wouldn't penetrate for me.
Okay.
Now, when I say this might just be my problem, first of all, my dog destroyed one of my
Hearing aids?
hearing aids. and the other one went dead on the way over here. So, you know,
Okay.
I've
and
got
no
3
one
puppies you
signs
can
over
borrow.
here, so I just, you know, there was nothing I could do. Second thing, I had the impression there was going to be some discussion at this meeting about river safety. No?
At this meeting, I don't
No,
think, I mean.
there's
it-
nothing agendized or
Okay.
planned. I know we did have the press conference, that was last Wednesday, but nothing has been brought to my attention, and I don't believe we had any agenda item.
Yeah, they had the press conference, they had a couple of injuries over the 4th of July weekend. I don't know what ended up, maybe Jackie does, what ended up being
Yeah.
the situation with those.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's all, Bullhead City is investigating. Bullhead City is the one that was responding department, so.
Yeah, the event happened at their park, did it not?
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
Yep.
So I just want to, before we leave, emphasize the difference in this low flow. On a normal day with 5 units, we can see 23,000 CFS. On a normal day with a single unit, you can see 4,290 CFS. On a half unit normal low flow, we see 1,800, not 1,000, 1,800 CFS. This low flow is going to be 1,300. So please don't go walking out there in the muck. You will fall and hurt yourself. I've known, I've done it. But if you have decent shoes or sticks and you want to go pick up trash, please do it. Put it in a black bag and take it out and put it on the shore. Somebody will pick it up for you. But please be careful and know that it's going to be lower than most kayaks or canoes can get out in. So it's the lowest it's ever been. 1,200 is the stop point for the Department of Interior, and we're going to 13.
Right.
Okay?
Just above.
It's really important.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do we have any other comments? Okay. Our next meeting is scheduled for, in this room, on August 9th of 2022, and I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you for attending.